Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. In today's video, which is a continuation of the chapter Periodic Classification of Elements, we are going to see how is modern periodic table and electronic configuration of elements related to each other, right? Now let us see how the periodic trend occurs when we move down the group and when we move uh, down a period, right? When we move through a period, sorry. So within a period, the neighboring elements, now how many periods are there? 7, right? Within a period, the neighboring elements differ slightly in their properties, while distant elements differ widely in their properties. For example, if you consider the second period, correct? So lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. These are the elements in second period. Now lithium and beryllium would not be so much different than lithium and fluorine. They will show very wide difference in their properties. So the elements which are nearest in the periods show similar property and which are distant show different properties. Followed elements in the same group. Now first we talked about the periods. Now in the same group they show similarity and gradation in their properties. So elements belonging to one particular group will have same properties, correct? Only they will show gradation. Okay, it may slightly increase or decrease. That property may increase or decrease when you move down a group, right? If you consider the first group, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, correct? These are all alkali metals. If you move to 18th group, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, all these are noble gases. If we consider 17th group, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, all of them are halogens, right? So elements in the same group will have same properties. The only thing is that they will show gradation in the properties. Now these characteristics of the groups and the periods in the modern periodic table are because of the electronic configuration of the elements. So what do we understand by electronic configuration? Means how electrons in a particular atom is arranged, okay? Where in which shell how many electrons are there. That is the electronic configuration. So all these the characteristics of the groups as well as of the periods in the modern periodic table are determined by the electronic configuration of elements. Followed students? It is the electronic configuration of an element which decides the group and the period in which it is to be placed. For example, hydrogen, it has only one shell, right? So it is placed in first period. Lithium, it has two shells, so it will be placed in second period. Likewise. Now let us see the characteristics of groups and periods. Correct? Now how do we understand the characteristics? We will have to compare the properties of different elements. Now various properties of all the elements in a group show similarity and gradation. However, the properties of elements change slowly while going from one end to the another end. For example, from left to right in a particular period. As I already mentioned in the first slide itself, that if you consider second period, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. It will not be that lithium and beryllium will be very much different. No, they will be similar, but slowly as you move away from lithium, it will show differences in the properties, right? So when you are moving from one end to the another end, that is from left to right in a period, slowly the properties of these elements will change. For example, lithium and fluorine, they are not so same, whereas lithium and beryllium is quite similar. Now groups and electronic configuration. Let us talk about that first. You will find that the number of valence electrons means in the outermost shell, okay, the number of electrons present in the outermost shell, they are the valence electrons. In all these elements from the group 1, that is the family of alkali metals, is the same, correct? If you see group 1, hydrogen's valence electron is 1, lithium atomic number 3, it shows 2 1, again its at valence electrons will be 1. Sodium atomic number 11, so it will be 2 8 1, again the number of valence electrons is 1. Similarly, if we look at alkaline earth metals, group 2, beryllium 2 2, that is the electronic configuration, right? So number of valence electrons will be 2 again. Magnesium, it should be 282, right? There is a mistake here, it will be 282, and calcium will be 2882, followed, it's not 1 here, it's mistakenly written, it will be 2 and 2 followed. So you can see that in alkaline earth metals also the valence electrons number remains the same, 2 2, 282, please correct that, and 2882 for calcium atomic number 20. If you see group 17 again, you will see the number of valence electrons is 2 7. Oh, sorry, the for fluorine it is 2 7, for chlorine it is 287, for bromine it is 2887. So the number of valence electrons is 7 again everywhere. So while going from top to bottom within any group, one electronic shell gets added at a time. Of course, because the period changes, right? We have already talked about it. From this, we can say that the electronic configuration of the outermost shell is characteristic of a particular group. However, as we go down a group, the number of shells goes on increasing. This is a very important information. When you move down a group, the number of shells goes on increasing. And when you are moving across a period, the number of electrons in the outermost shell will increase. Followed? For example, if you consider first period, hydrogen has 1 electron in its outermost shell. Helium will have 2. Right? If you consider second period, lithium has 1 electron in its outermost shell. Beryllium has 2. Boron will have 3. Carbon will have 4, and so on. Right? So within a group and across a period, you have to remember this. What is the electronic configuration? How it is changing? Now let's see periods and electronic configuration. You will find that the number of valence electrons is different in these elements. However, the number of shells is the same. You will also find that while going from left to right within the period, the atomic number increases by 1 at a time. Right? That is what I told you. If you consider second period, lithium has 1 electron in its outermost shell, then beryllium will have 2, then boron will have 3, and so on. So the number of valence electrons also increases by 1 at a time. We can say that the elements with the same number of shells occupied by electrons belong to the same period. If it has only 1 shell, it belongs to period number 1. If it has 2 shells, then it belongs to period number 2. If it has 3 shells, then it belongs to period number 3. Correct? The elements in the second period, that is lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon, there are 8, correct, have electrons in the 2 shells K and L. The elements in the third period, namely sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon have electrons in the three shells K, L, M, right? Followed, students? So the number of shells keeps on increasing when you move down a group. Okay, and the number of period will tell you the number of shells of that particular element. Now let us see, when we talk about the shells, what is the capacity of those electron shells? Okay, in the modern periodic table, electrons are filled in the same shell while going along a period from left to right. For example, if it is first period, it will be only filled in K shell. Okay, and at the beginning of the next period, a new electron shell starts filling up. So after first period gets over, L shell is added in the second period. K is already there, L is again added. The number of elements in the first three periods is determined by the electron capacity of the shells and the law of electron octet. Correct? Only we are talking about the first three periods, right? The first period is the shortest, then second and third, they are also short periods, very short periods in fact. As per the electron holding capacity of shells, 2 elements are present in the first period and 8 elements in the second period. Now let's see here capacity of the shells. Okay, there are 4 shells K, L, M and N. Correct? How do we determine the electronic capacity, electron holding capacity? It will be with the formula 2n2. Correct? So the number of shell 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be 2 into 1 raised to 2. So electron capacity is 2 for the first shell, that is K. That is why the first period will have 2 electrons. Then L, it will be 2 into 2 raised to 2. So that will give you 2 into 4, that is 8. So that is why in second period we have again 8 elements. Now M, though for M it is 16, but still the third period will have only 8 electrons, right? There is a reason to it. I'll explain it to you later on why it is so. Then for N, it is, the number will be 4. Okay, so 2 into 4 raised to 2. So that will be 16 into 2, 32. So the first shell can hold 2 electrons. Second can hold maximum up to 8. Third shell can hold maximum up to 16. And fourth can hold maximum up to 32. So first period you can see 1, 2, okay. Then in second period you can go up till 2, 8. That is the configuration of neon. Okay, right. Then again you can go to the third shell, that will be 16, and then 4, that is 32. So the electron holding capacity will grow as you move down the group. Now let's see here. The third period also contains only 8 elements due to the law of electron octet. Okay. There are few more factors which control the filling of electrons in the subsequent periods, which will be considered in the higher standards when you move. The chemical reactivity of an element is determined by the number of valence electrons in it and the shell number of the valence shell. Okay, so the number of valence electrons will determine all these things. The information on these points is obtained from the position of the element in the periodic table, and that is how you can come to know what is its electron shell, what is its valence shell number, how many valence electrons are there. Followed? So this is all about electronic configuration, groups and the periods. Next, we will talk about the periodic trends in the modern periodic table. Followed, students? Till then, please properly learn about the electron capacity of the different shells and how the trend will change when you move from left to right and move down a group. Followed? Thank you, students, for watching the video.